he might not be involved for 90 minutes of the game, but when it comes to extra time, he gets that one moment, that can be the difference of them winning and losing. So that's the X factor that he does have, whether you like it or not, in the sense of football. Tactically, it changes. If Marmoush does go up top, it's a different tactical dynamic, but still, they lose that aerial threat. They lose it when they go wide and just lift it in the back post, knowing that Erling Haaland will come charging in.
What a game this is set to be. Let's head straight to the Bernabeu. Guillem Balague joins us live pitchside. Guillem, great to see. I'm sure you're really looking forward to watching this game just as much as we are. And I hear you've got some potential breaking news pre-match. What is it?
Well, what it is that we saw Haaland training yesterday and we thought that he was OK for the game. But I heard that this morning he felt pain and he told the manager that. So the thinking this morning was that Haaland may not even play, even if he's on the bench. A game like this, Pep Guardiola feels players have to be 100%. And if he's not, and there will be a test a few hours before the game, perhaps around this time, for the final decision. But if he's not, the mentality of Manchester City has changed so much in Saturday that they almost saw it as a good thing. Not a good thing, but then who's going to play there? Marmoush. Oh, Rudiger's coming back. Well, Rudiger could suffer with Marmoush. So at the moment, the mentality has been transformed from a week ago when Pep Guardiola said only 1% chance. I know he didn't fully mean it, but he thought it was an impossible situation. After Newcastle, they felt like, yeah, I recognize this team with Nico in the middle, Marmoush, of course, scoring a hat-trick, and he's thinking, and they're all thinking, well, there's only one goal separating us.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see when the teams come out in a couple of hours' time. One of the big talking points coming into this game, and we saw both of them kind of jousting a little bit in the pre-match press conferences, was the battle between Pep Guardiola and Carlo Ancelotti. Whoever loses this game, would they potentially lose their job? Is this the end of the road for Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid if he goes out of the Champions League? Obviously, the rumour mill is always kind of spinning there in Madrid, but could that potentially be the case? Is there any truth to these rumours?
Let me put you a little bit of context of this season. At the beginning of the season, despite the fact that Real Madrid had won the league and the Champions League, I think Carlo Ancelotti didn't get fully backed up or loved, if you like, from the inside. He felt like, oh, there's too many doubts because the team didn't start well, because the front four weren't defending. Is it that they're not listening to the manager? There were question marks. They transformed that, ended up top of the table, even though it's been taken now by Barcelona, same points as Barcelona, and still not at their best. So back again, Ancelotti feels that he's obviously protected by his bosses, but the Champions League is everything. So a season in which Real Madrid don't have any more Champions League from now until the end will be a very long season with the target, of course, of winning the league, and even winning the league may not be enough. We all know Xabi Alonso will take over at some point. We know, and Carlo Ancelotti had said, when Madrid says enough is enough, it will be the club, not him, who leaves the Santiago Bernabeu. But meanwhile, there is that feeling that they question him from the inside. But this is Real Madrid. Either you are at the top all the time, or, you've got to move on.
I was going to ask you, Guillem, is that kind of the direction that they're going to go this soon towards Xabi Alonso? If it does happen at the end of the season, they might go for him then?
Why is it soon? He's proven to be a really, really good manager, to do things that Bayer Leverkusen has never seen before. Bundesliga have never seen before. And it could have been the perfect season for them if they have won the competition in Europe. But it hasn't happened. Still is a magnificent season, and still is a team that has got the imprint of a manager. So Xabi Alonso knows that one thing is Bayer Leverkusen, where he has to maximize the potential of the players, where he has to mold them a little bit to his image and to his ideas. Another one will be Real Madrid, but he would know how to deal the players, because he's done it, of course, at Real Madrid, at Bayern Munich, as teammates. He knows all that kind of caliber of that kind of profile of player, and I don't think Real Madrid have got any fear or any doubt that he will be a really good Real Madrid manager.
Guillem, great stuff as always. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the game a little bit later. It's going to be a great atmosphere there at the Bernabeu. We'll talk about Ancelotti and his future in just a second, but let's reflect on what Guillem said at the top there, the fact that Erling Haaland might not be playing for Manchester City. How much does that change the outlook of the way this game is going to go, Nigel?
I'd have to say it changes it a lot. Erling Haaland has been the main focal point for Manchester City recently. Hasn't been at his fully best. Yeah, I know he scored a few goals, but it's not the Haaland that we've known before. A lot of players lost confidence. I think with him not starting now, it does change the whole dynamic. I think Marmoush
He's not that good. It's not going to make a difference.
But that's the question, though, isn't it? Can City, Mike, you know, as playing as a striker, can City go through without Erling Haaland in the team?
Yeah, very possible. I mean, they've proven to win things without Haaland, without the reference point in the front as well. I think it changes the game in terms of big moments like set pieces, defensive, both attacking as well. The ability to cross balls, they're going to have to attack a different way. But in a game that can become quite transitional and quite open, because obviously Vini and Mbappe will look to run behind and stretch them. Both teams will get stretched, so maybe Marmoush becomes a better option there because he's quicker and maybe a little bit better on the ball. So it's going to give Man City a different look. They're going to lose that aerial prowess in the box, that acrobatics. The center backs are not going to be in quite a physical battle as they would have. I think it makes Man City less of a chance to win, but still, Man City have been proven that they can win no matter what. And sometimes for center backs, it's difficult when a guy goes into the midfield and you have no one to mark. Rudiger wants to fight. Rudiger wants to fight with a big center forward like Haaland. He doesn't want a guy floating around where he has to pass him on.
But he can handle it as well, though. I just think for me, when you look at these games, you talk about world players. From a Real Madrid point of view, it's like, okay, cool, because you have to respect. Erling Haaland is not your normal striker.
Exactly.
So for them, it's like, that's a big weight off our back.
You can try to find a silver lining if Haaland isn't playing, but at the end of the day, you want Haaland playing.
Correct.
It's really about Haaland.
Well, that's the thing. He's a great player, but he is also predictable. He sort of plays that style, doesn't he? You know what you're going to get with Haaland. Just the question, can you stop him?
Predictable. Anything can happen.
He can have
Real Madrid, Manchester City, and then have that one moment.
1 minute and one goal, and that's the difference. That's what you've got to understand and respect to Erling Haaland. He might not be involved for 90 minutes of the game, but when it comes to extra time, he gets that one moment. That can be the difference of them winning and losing. So that's the X factor that he does have, whether you like it or not, in the sense of football. Tactically, it changes. If Marmoush does go up top, it's a different tactical dynamic, but still, they lose that aerial threat. They lose it when they go wide and just lift it in the back post, knowing that Erling Haaland will come charging in. So it does change how they will play.